3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Land records were changed without giving notices to farmers in several cases, leaving the farmers in the taluk shocked. The farmers say there was no notice or any hearing, as records show that Waqf Board's name made it to column number 11 of the RTC just 2 days after Karnataka Waqf Minister Zamir Ahmed Khan's meeting with the officials. First, let's break down what has transpired in the last 4 days, including this day, that is Monday, and why the Congress is under fire. First up, the farmers claimed they received notices to vacate land after facing outrage. The Congress called the notice an error. Then, the Waqf Board's name was inserted in the records. The Congress has now called it a procedural lapse on part of the administration. The documents show that the mutations were done overnight. The Congress has now cancelled the land mutations. The farmers allege that these notices to them were sent after the state's Waqf minister met them. The Congress government sees a BJP plot accusing them of misleading the people. There's more news. Even as the BJP alleges Minister Zamir Ahmed Khan was exerting pressure behind the Vijayapura Waqf land changes, CNN News 18 has accessed the Waqf Adalat meeting video of October 7 and 8. A day after this RTC mutation was started with the inclusion of the Waqf name. This is what Zamir Ahmed Khan is seen telling people, the officials especially, at that meeting.
ನಾನು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿಂದಲೇ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವೇನೋ ನಾಮಕೆ ವಾಸ್ತವ್ಯ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಒಪ್ಪಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳು ಟೈಮ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಭಾಳ ಜನ RDPR ಅವರು ಮುನ್ಸಿಪಾಲಿಟಿ ಅವರು 45 ದಿನ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 45 ದಿನ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಇದು ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ತಂದೆ. ನಾನು ವಕ್ಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ನಾವು ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಮಾನ್ಯ
Harish Upadhyaya, who's been bringing us the story, and he was the first to get us this story here at CNN News 18, joining us live. Harish, Zamir Ahmed Khan in this clip that we have accessed, very clearly saying that you think I'm just going to come and go. I'm going to come back in 45 days. I want to see what is happening. Is this the allegation that we are making, that this was where he was trying to apply pressure on the ministers? Or is there a correlation between this meeting and what happened in the taluks thereafter?
Well, if you look at the whole sequence of events, 7th and 8th he's in Vijayapura. This meeting that we are showing right now happens on the 7th of October. And the mutations in the RTC start happening from the 9th of October. In fact, if you go back to another clip that we have accessed, it's also from Vijayapura. He can be seen boasting. He says, not just in Vijayapura, I was in Bidar in a similar meeting earlier, and within days of that Waqf Adalat, we had katas happening to our properties. So he's boasting about it. He's saying that within 45 days, we go back to the Waqf Board, call a video conference meeting, and we will review it. Now, what the BJP is saying, that all these changes that have happened in Vijayapura is because of this pressure exerted by the Minorities Welfare Minister, Zamir Ahmed Khan. They're also saying, can a minister set such a tight deadline? Because these are revenue processes that have a set of rules to be followed. For example, a notice has to be issued to the farmer. He has to be given at least 2 weeks time to come and submit his documents. In case he needs time, then he will have to seek more time. Can all this be done in 45 days? Can the minister give such unrealistic deadlines? And is it because of this pressure that the Indi Tehsildar decided to not even give notice or have a hearing and directly change RTC and land records of 41 properties there?
True. Is this the translation of the other purported video that we've got? It's about 34 seconds, Harish. From 10-15 years, several applications have come for Kata. There are a total of 330 applications in Vijayapura. We are now doing Waqf Adalat to put applications in the dustbin. After Waqf Adalat, what we do is hold a concerned department meeting where AC, DC, Tahsildar and the RDPR department officials are there, and police department as well. We give them deadline to solve our problem in 1 month. In Bidar, our Waqf Kata was pending for 10-15 years, and after Waqf Adalat, the revenue officials handed over kata in days. We give 1 month time, and after that we sit in Waqf Board and take details, asking what has happened in 1 month that they had sought. In Bidar, you won't believe 310 katas were done and handed over. Only 70 is pending. 11 encroachments were there. We have cleared 4 and remaining will be cleared in 15 days time. In Waqf Adalat here today, 700 plus katas have been done, which have been pending for 10-15 years, and after that there is something called flagging, even that has been done. Is this all Zamir Ahmad Khan? What is he trying to say here or do here?
Well, in fact, he's going on boasting about what his Waqf Adalat has done. He's held it in multiple districts across Karnataka now. He's saying that changes to the land record of the Waqf Board is happening at a faster pace. Yes, it's been a grouse of the government that in certain places where the title is very clear, the Waqf department hasn't taken RTC or proper land documents. Here he's talking about the kind of tight deadline that they're giving to the DCs, the ACs and the Tehsildars, and he's boasting about it, saying just days after the Waqf department, Waqf Adalat in Bidar, the katas were done. Whether they were legitimate, whether there were claims, counterclaims, that is something we are not aware of. But the revenue department, the pace at it which works in Karnataka, definitely doesn't happen at this pace. So clearly there is pressure that's coming from the minister. Now the government has to answer. The Tehsildar, who's now facing the music, has to answer if he did this because of this kind of pressure that came in from the minister. The BJP, on the other hand, is saying this was this pressure. It was this pressure by Zamir Ahmad Khan that resulted in such major discrepancies in the revenue land records in Vijayapura, and it's been done at his behest.
Right.
And they are saying the timeline also matches.
Well, thank you for your reportage and covering of this story, and you've got us these details here at CNN News 18. So, commendations on that, Harish. Thank you for your inputs. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen, and have a look at some of the data that we have. Now, these are the land records that we have accessed, and there is, as I say, good evening to Shazia Almi, national spokesperson of the BJP, Anand Ranganathan, author, political commentator and scientist with us, and Kamru Chaudhary, political analyst with us, leans towards the Congress party. Namaste and Jai Hind to everyone. Now, this is the whole list. The notices issued, number of farmers, mutation done is there in column 9 and also the mutation done in column 11. There are 41 cases in the Indi taluk. There are 3 cases in Chadachan. Total 44 cases that are now under scrutiny. Number of farmers impacted, overall 433 notices issued to 124 farmers. Now this is the document, and these are the records where suddenly overnight these mutations appear in column number 11. Now this is one of the pages, it's all in Kannada, but one of the pages, and the validity dates and the details are coming in, and column 11 suddenly the Waqf mention is coming through. Shazia Almi, the BJP is alleging that this is under pressure of Zamir Ahmad Khan, the Congress Waqf minister.
So first of all, it is not about BJP or Congress or any other party. It is who owns the land, who has been living there, and also the claims that are being made. So for once on this subject, now we're looking at very ugly confrontations from all sides, and I fear things worsening and things getting uglier. So eventually, no matter what it is, rule of law must prevail. It is not about BJP Congress, it is not about Muslim vote banks, it is not about Hindus, but what is happening now, I think all of us must learn to call a spade a spade. It is very unfortunate, and you know something, Waqf for an Awqaf, the idea of justice and the way it's done, it's not even there in many Muslim countries which are theocratic states, which actually have Sharia. So in a way, it works not just against Hindus, as is very evident now, and in many other instances. It also works against poor Muslims. And there are, if you see Rajasthan, you will realize a huge community and a large enough, more than 300 members of a clan, so to speak, Muslims, have been ousted and thrown out. And if you look at all the corruption cases, not just this one that we're talking about, but in every state born, no matter which government has been in power, you will be shocked to see that there is nothing Islamic about the way dealings are done. Private builders could be Hindus, Muslims, they take the land. Of course, person there has to be a Muslim, the chairperson, but he or she doesn't care. It is leased out, It is given on very, on the face of it, is very little money exchanged. But of course, a lot of underhand dealings are done. And it does fat amount of good for the actual Haqdar Muslims, for which the idea of Waqf Board has come into being. So I find it completely, I don't just find it against Hindus, and that is the argument of everybody. But I find it against all laws of justice, particularly Muslims, because it works against the interests of Muslims. The whole idea of Waqf is to give back to the society. They cannot name one medical college, one engineering college, 5 schools. They can't mention or tell us as to whether there is even one shelter home for any woman who's battered, who is divorced, who has been thrown out, and there is not one scholarship for children besides the Deeni Taaleem, which is the Islamic education, where there are madrasas which do, but there is no plan whatsoever for coaching institutes, for modern education, to prepare young Muslims for a better life. It is so shameful, because everybody says that these Waqf boards are grabbing and they're taking away from Hindus. My grouse, and I speak as a Muslim here, my grouse is that they're working against poor Muslims, and they don't care about any religion. They are just a mafia. And that is my biggest problem with them. So my take is a little different from everyone else's. While I understand that Hindu farmers have an issue, I'm sure it's genuine. But my problem is a lot bigger. It is only the cesspools of corruption. And this is the worst kept secret. Everybody knows this. Whoever you see on TV who speaks from the so-called secular parties know they are doing the biggest disservice to their own religion. But they don't give a damn.
The Karnataka Waqf, Shazia Almi, the Karnataka Waqf has been a problem for a long time, and I remember
Absolutely, I know all about.
Yeah,
Roshan Beg.
Yes, Rahman Khan Saab, who was a former deputy speaker, all of them were there. I know the whole story very well.
And Anwar Manapadi has done a huge amount of work to the amount of voluminous levels of corruption and mismanagement that's happened with Waqf. But this is brazen. This is absolutely brazen what's happening right now with the farmers in these talukas and under the pressure of the sitting Waqf Minister of the Congress party in Karnataka. Kamru Chaudhary, your response?
Anand, quite amusingly, today I find myself on the same page as my political adversary, Shazia ji out here. It cannot be more correct when she says that the crores and crores of property that was belonging or that was given to the Waqf could not be used for the welfare of the poor of the community. And I cannot deny, because there is such a large-scale corruption going on within the board that needs to be corrected. But having said that, before coming to the specifics of this Karnataka Waqf Board dispute, let me just tell you what exactly is transpiring in the deep state in the country right now. A particular deep state is out there with a story of disinformation, misinformation, to somehow or the other justify the draconian Waqf Amendment Act that was brought in by the Narendra Modi government out here. I found it draconian. Why? Because the Waqf Board originally with which it was formed is being misused, no doubt about it. We have been demanding reforms within the Waqf Board for long. Even I personally had led a lot of agitation. We have surrounded the Kolkata Waqf Board also on these issues. But the all said and done, this is not the way to get the Waqf Amendment Bill that is being brought out and passed by citing some specific examples. Here in
JPC is not the way.
No, wait, ma'am. I supported you, what you feel for the community. I empathize with you. I feel that it's a right thing that we have said that the community should benefit from the crores of Waqf property that is there in the country. But then what happened in Karnataka is a toolkit in operation to discredit the Congress party, link it with the wrong that is going on in the Waqf Board, and somehow or the other find a minority appeasement angle out here to justify the draconian Waqf Amendment Bill that is being brought out. Why I say this? When the minister holds that he says that in the Honawad village, the Waqf Board has only around 10 acres and 29 guntas of land. No farmer has got any notice, nor has the ownership of any farmer been changed. some people are creating confusion using copies of the 1974 Gazette. They are trying to conceal the 1977 Gazette notifications and the government orders, that is documents that show that the Waqf Board has rectified the 1974 records. No mutations have been conducted, no record of rights, tenancy and crops have been revised. This is the Karnataka minister who has given that on statement. If there is anything wrong in this, it's better that the Karnataka BJP take him to the
Sir,
court.
I'm going to try and see if we can get Harish on the phone to also clarify to you what is actually being done. What's being done is that there is a column number 11 where there was no Waqf mentioned. In that column number 11 and column number 9 of the RTC, that is where the mutation is being done, and within overnight, suddenly the Waqf becomes one of the holders of the land. So then eventually what they will turn around and say is they will invoke this entire principle that once a land is declared Waqf, it remains Waqf and eventually goes back to. I'm just saying what they are saying is in column number 11 in this Indi Taluk, there are cases, 41 cases have come from one taluka, Indi Taluka, and the Chadachan Taluka next to it, 44 cases. All of this is in the Vijayapura district, in the Vijayapura area. This has happened. 44 properties where suddenly, Harish is with us. Harish, this whole thing about the minister trying to say that no land records have been changed or ownership has been changed, and he's trying to say the wrong gazette is being put out. What's actually being done? Can you explain to Mr. Kamru Chaudhary and our viewers again, please? What is the allegation that there is an act of impropriety that's happening?
Well, there seems to be an effort to create some sort of a confusion here. There are two issues. One is from the Babaleshwar constituency. That is where MB Patil is referring to a 1974 Gazette notification, which was modified later in 1977. And that created fear among some of the villagers there holding land, that their land is also notified as a Waqf land. That is not something that CNN News 18 is focusing on or is raising issues about. What today we are raising questions about is the Indi Taluk 1, because those 41 properties haven't been contested. In fact, we have seen RTC copies going back to 1980s and 90s, where there's absolutely no mention of Waqf there. And today the government is on record saying that it was a mistake by the Tehsildar to issue them or change those RTCs without documents or without any sort of a notice. So clearly somewhere that confusion is being created where both the issues are being mixed, but these are two different issues. What the minister talks about Gazette notification is not the one that currently we are focusing on.
Right. Harish, yes, Kamru Chaudhary. Thank you for that, Harish. Yes, Kamru Chaudhary.
Yeah, Harish is absolutely right when he said that. My point is that when the BJP minister, BJP MP, Mr. Tejaswi Surya, when he did the first press conference on this issue, he mentioned the Honawada village. Now, Honawada village, the entire clarification has come out. That it's a misinformation.
Sir, I am talking about, that's what I'm trying to say.
Wait,
you said it's a conspiracy by the deep state, sir. In Indi Taluk and this one, there is no conspiracy.
I am coming to the Indi Taluk.
Apology has been issued.
No, wait. Apology has been issued.
Tehsildar has said, sir, the mutation has been revoked.
No,
they said this is a technical error.
Anand, you can quote that to the viewers also, that a task force has been formed already consisting of the additional deputy commissioner, assistant commissioner, Tehsildars and the Waqf officer. They are looking into the entire issue of the Waqf in Karnataka. It's not like that. I have been associated with the Waqf Board for long to understand how a Waqf property is being designated, how the EC number is generated for a particular Waqf. It's not that I claim, Anand Narasimham, that your house is mine because it is a Waqf property and I am able to show some cooked up documents. It's never like that, Anand. Please do not spread this misinformation. This is very dangerous for the country.
One minute. Let him.
It is not. It's very dangerous for the country because anything and everything, even Babri Masjid was a Waqf property, but the Supreme Court educated on that, and we are fine with that because the Supreme Court has educated. But it doesn't mean that anybody's property can be claimed by the Waqf.
No, the Waqf has tried to claim Gyanvapi also, sir. The Waqf has tried to claim Gyanvapi, which was rejected by the courts. The Waqf has tried to claim that the parliament is on Waqf land.
Now you go to Gyanvapi from
No, I'm just trying to say, sir, for you to say that the Waqf is holier than thou and it doesn't make such claims, that is not true. There are multiple claims. There are multiple claims about the Waqf and how this game has been played, where somebody tries to usurp land, donates it to Waqf and then takes it back from them at a very nominal rate, whereas there is a dealing that's been done, because once it's declared Waqf, there is no challenge to the title and there is no
It's
legal
never like
remedy.
that.
There are so many
It's
cases
never
that are
like that. There
One
are
minute.
three types of Waqf. Three types of Waqf.
Sir.
Nobody can claim it. There is a centrally administered Waqf. There is
Okay,
a
one
Waqful Allah, Waqful Allah. There are different categories, and the Mutawalli is a caretaker. He is never the owner of the land.
Correct. So sir, that's what I'm
Yes,
trying to
but-
say. How the game is played. Shazia Almi and then Dr. Ranganathan, I'll come to you. Yes.
So something very small, Kamruji, just to make things very clear, all those are great things that you've said. Mutawallis ki take care and they are sort of guardians. But can I tell you, example after example, we just talked about Karnataka in great detail as to what happened just 20 years back, 2 decades back. But can I just tell you, Amanatullah Khan took over, and he took over obviously from the Congress, because Waqf Board will have to have Muslims. Who was there? Harun Yusuf was there. You remember the Congress leader from Delhi.
Are you speaking about the 123 properties? Are you speaking about the 123
Let him
properties?
complete. Let her complete.
कमरोजी सुनिए तो मैक्रो में ना जाइए, माइक्रो से मैं मैक्रो पे ले जा रही हूँ. मैं आपको स्पेसिफिक्स दे रही हूँ ताकि आप समझे ओवरऑल पिक्चर क्या है.
देखिए, biased and opinionated arguments has no argument from my side.
Kamruji, I did not speak with you.
If you are
Let her
biased
complete.
and
I have
opinionated,
limited time.
then there
Anand
is no-
Ranganathan has not
Kamruji,
spoken.
Kamruji,
So let
then-
Shazia Almi make a point and I need to go to Dr.
So
Ranganathan.
okay, quickly, I'll make it very quick. Amanatullah takes over, files a case, discovers 32 bighas of land in Delhi. Narela was sold to a private builder who was not a Muslim, some for 2-3 lakh rupees, and Harun Yusuf sat on a lot of money. ACB took the case and the case continued. Lo and behold, so this person who was trying to pick on the corruption of Congress then took over, and now there are raids on Amanatullah Khan because of the kind of land he has sold to private institutions, private bodies. Nobody knows, no auditing has been done, but it's been given on lease only for profit. No waqf, insaf or awqaf about
Sajia,
it.
you
So
are
let's not
mixing
fool
up two
people.
entire
Let's
issues.
not fool people.
One,
this
no,
is a
no,
very-
no,
It's just okay. Let's just pause here. The only point.
property being claimed.
No. The only
There are two
point is
differences.
sir.
Jhoot.
One is that there is corruption and misappropriation and malafide is endemic to this entire Waqf across the board, whether it is to claim a property or whether to lease give out a property or then to resell the property. Dr. Ranganathan, thank you for your patience. Please, your take.
Good evening, Anand, and good evening to my fellow panelists. It's a very interesting discussion. Please allow me to take part in it with a couple of minutes because I have something important to say. I'm afraid while both my fellow panelists, one of them seems to be a little hungry, have made excellent points. Sorry, Shazia. No, I think what we are doing is we are missing the woods for the trees. As simple as that. We're going into the nitty-gritty of some select property disputes without talking about why on earth are these disputes happening. That is the woods.
Correct.
Now, I want to be very blunt here and I want to ask questions. I don't care if anybody calls me a communal bigot or something. Anand, because I'm asking you directly. Are Muslims special people? If they are more special than Hindus, then please let me know. Are they special?
No, they are as special as anybody else.
Correct. Now I want to ask, I have nothing, as a citizen of India, I have nothing against the Waqf Board or any other charity or any other trust. I have everything against the Waqf Act. Why on earth should any board be empowered to have its own separate judiciary, executive and legislature? That is the problem.
Yes.
I will give you one example. Anand, let us say there is a Hindu equivalent of the Waqf Board. Let's say there is a Hindu charitable trust organization. The next thing you know is that the Hindu charitable trust has laid claim to Jama Masjid land. What do you think the next step of Jama Masjid would be? I'm asking you. What do you think Jama Masjid would do?
Go to the court.
Correct. The Jama Masjid will go to the court. But any
But it
Hindu
can't happen.
people whose land has been appropriated will not be allowed to go to the court before it goes to the Waqf Board. Do you think it is
And
right for
tribunal-
Jama Masjid to first... Yeah, Shazia, 1 second. Do you think it is right, morally, ethically, justice-wise, for the Jama Masjid to first approach the Hindu charitable board and say, look, Okay, I subject myself to your judiciary, your surveyor, your executive and your board before I go to the High Court. Before I go, what is going on? Are we living under Sharia? People like Amru, they are very sensible, perhaps they are lawyers as well. Something happens to them, they wear blinkers the moment it comes to Muslim rights. They believe they are more entitled than Hindus. It is not a question of Hindu-Muslim at all. It is a question of one citizen, one community being given excessive rights than the other. It's as simple as that. And you explained it. I asked you 2 questions. You gave me 2 logical answers. I hope your viewers will listen to those 2 answers. Those 2 answers were Muslims are as special as Hindus are. And the second answer you gave was, if Jama Masjid land has been laid claim to by a Hindu board, Jama Masjid people will go to the court, not go to the Hindu equivalent of the Waqf Board.
Correct. So the Waqf Act is the issue, the attitude of Waqf or the attitude of donating to charity or for the betterment of the community is not. But is that actually happening? That's another aspect of review within the Waqf and within the Muslim community itself. And who controls the Waqf? Is it largely the Sayyids who are controlling it, the Ashrafi who are controlling it? What about the Pashmandas? What about the real people who should be part of the Waqf? So is there a game of elitism? That's within the community and that's for them to decide. Well, like you said, nobody has an issue with a charitable board and an after which is wanting to do something.
10 seconds correction. The Waqf Board are controlled not by the community, by the government appointed executive. Chief executive officer is directly appointed by the government.
Sir,
your correction.
Sir, no, the chief executive is appointed, but who controls that cabal? And like there is a system that still controls how we are treated within across the board. So who controls that system and within who holds the power and the holdings? That's what that is something. Why should there be a Waqf Act? Let's do away with the Waqf Act and that should how it should be. And anybody should have judicial recourse.
Who manages the Waqf properties?
Sir,
if there is no Waqf Board, who manages the Waqf properties?
There is a difference between the board and the act, sir. The Anand Ranganathan is drawing issue with the Waqf Act. He is not drawing issue with the Waqf Board. No, they are not intrinsic, sir. Then how is it that there is no equivalent for Hindu charitable institutions? How is there no? Sir, the rules under our country have to be the same for every citizen. It cannot be. It cannot. No, we don't. We should not. The right to equality is sacrosanct, sir. There should be equal justice.
This is not a question of right to equality. This is the right to freedom to practice.
Okay. Anand Ranganathan, I am going over, but yes, final response. Anand Ranganathan.
Is intrinsic to the religious beliefs of the Muslims.
No, sir. Waqf Act is not. Waqf Board is. Waqf is. But the Waqf Act is not. Waqf Act is not, sir. Waqf Act is a political game that's been played. Yes, Anand Ranganathan.
If you are opinionated, I can't hype it, but it's not the way.
You are also opinionated, sir. You also holding to your opinion. I am just saying that there is nothing against charity and a Waqf Board or the act of Waqf, sir. It's a very noble thing as a thought process. But is it being implemented as nobly, or has it been given certain level of protection which is unequal to the rest of the citizens of the country, to the non-Muslims of the country? Yes, Anand Ranganathan.
Yes, I hope I will not be interrupted by Kamru because I am in total agreement with him. I now demand from the Modi government an equivalent of the Waqf Act for Hindus. Number 2, I demand from the Modi government that mosques be taken control of just like Hindu temples are. Will Kamru agree? हिम्मत है तो बोल दो. Secular चिल्ला रहे हो. अब आ गया ऊँट पाल के नीचे.
बाबा एक चीज बता दे रहा है, जयपुर डायलॉग से लेकर ये स्टूडियो में बैठकर नहीं होता है. सुनिए मेरा बात.
डोंट टेक पर्सनल जाइब्स, इट्स नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. आप कहाँ बैठते हैं, आप कहाँ अपने पर्सनल टाइम में बैठते हैं, कोई किसी को नहीं कहता है. कमरू तो प्लीज, इफ यू वांट टू टेक पर्सनल जाइब्स, एवरीबody can lower the level of discourse. That's not expected here. That's not expected, and it's regrettable that you made that. Please. See,
the basic point I cannot.
We are all making arguments here. We are all putting out points of view, and we may be fiery there. Nobody is taking personal jibes.
No,
Please don't
I want
do
to.
Anand just has told what happened to the mosques of the country.
No,
who is managing the mosque? It is the Waqf Board managed under the Waqf Act.
Sir, if there is a similar, if there are similar boards for all the other religious denominations, sir, most of the institutions which the Waqf claims of its own, it will date back to much before even Waqf existed, and it will go back to those particular religions like Baudh, Jain and Hindus. And then what will happen? You will not be allowed to go to court to seek recourse. You will have to go to the Hindu charitable board, the Jain board, the Buddhist board. not to anywhere else.
And Anand,
Not to
Anand,
anywhere
one more
else.
thing.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
Anand, one more thing.
Okay.
It is Kamru and his party which talks about the Samvidhan all the time. And look at this, how asamvidhanik it is. What Anand is saying is something very logical.
Correct.
If
Sir.
Muslims have it, if Hindus have it, I mean, there's nothing to do. I mean, you don't have to feel a sense of
Sir,
outrage.
sir,
It's very fair. I mean,
as per the
Muslims
11 judge
have it.
bench, 11 judge constitutional bench, the minority is supposed to be a state subject. The fact that there is a national commission for minorities and there are minorities affairs minister in every government itself is wide constitution and the Supreme Court ruling, sir. So let's either talk Samvidhan or don't talk Samvidhan. If you talk Samvidhan, then let's correct all these errors. That's what we are saying. Thank you very, very much. I've got to wind up on that note. Way over. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it's a fascinating, fabulous Make in India story, ladies and gentlemen, that we come back with as Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates the C-295 aircraft manufacturing facility in Vadodara. And how will Bharat's first privately built military aircraft transform defense capabilities? We'll tell you when we come back. Stay with us. Show. The inauguration of the Tata Airbus C-295 project in Vadodara marks a historic moment for Bharat's aerospace sector. The inauguration of the Tata Airbus C-295 project in Vadodara marks a historic moment for our sector, representing the first instance of a military aircraft being manufactured by a private company on Indian soil. The milestone embodies the spirit of Atmanirbharta that the Make in India initiative champions. The plant in Vadodara is similar to Airbus's facility in Seville. The Vadodara plant is equipped to produce up to 12 aircraft annually, and of the 40 aircraft to be made in India, the first C-295 will roll out of Vadodara facility in September 2026 and the remaining 39 by August 2031. Now, launching the facility will also make Bharat the 12th country with the capacity to manufacture such aircraft. The final assembly line of C-295 is set to be a game changer. The C-295 has a range of 5,000 kilometers and 11 hours of endurance. It can carry out multi-role operations under all weather conditions, and the C-295 is known to be a superior aircraft used for tactical transport of up to 71 troops or 50 paratroopers. It is capable of logistic operations to locations that are not accessible to current heavier aircraft. The C-295 has a rear ramp door for quick reaction and paradropping of troops and cargo. The project will directly create over 3,000 jobs at various sites and support more than 15,000 indirect jobs across the supply chain. The Tata Airbus C-295 project in Vadodara is more than just an aerospace assembly line. It represents a paradigm shift in Bharat's defense manufacturing landscape.
भारत में डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इकोसिस्टम नई ऊंचाइयां छू रहा है। तब तो कोई ये कल्पना भी नहीं कर पाता था कि भारत में इतने बड़े पैमाने पर डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हो सकती है। बीते दशक में देश ने ऐसे अनेक फैसले लिए जिससे भारत में एक वाइब्रेंट डिफेंस इंडस्ट्री का विकास हुआ। हमने डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में प्राइवेट सेक्टर की भागीदारी को विस्तार दिया, डीआरडीओ और एचएएल को सशक्त किया। यूपी और तमिलनाडु में 2 बड़े डिफेंस कॉरिडोर बनाए। ऐसे अनेक निर्णयों ने डिफेंस सेक्टर को नई ऊर्जा से भर दिया।
The complex marks an emblematic moment in PM Modi's visionary agenda for an Atmanirbhar Bharat. Over the past decade, Bharat has transformed from a defense importer to an exporter with a rising presence in the global arms industry. In 2019, the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute ranked Bharat among the top 25 arms exporters worldwide for the first time, placing the country at 23rd position. Bharat's goals are set higher still, with the country targeting defense exports of 35,000 crore rupees worth by 2025. Bharat's defense budget has seen substantial growth, reflecting the nation's investment in modernizing its defense infrastructure. From 2.03 lakh crore in 2013-14, the budget has grown to 5.93 lakh crore in 23-24. Bharat's defense exports have surged from 686 crore in 2013-14 to an impressive 21,083 crore in 23-24. The scope of Bharat's defense exports now extends across over 100 nations, highlighting the quality and reliability of Bharat's made military products. The percentage of defense spending on foreign procurement dropped from 46% in 2018 to 2019 to 36.7% by December 2022. The Defence Acquisition Procedure 2020 introduced a mandate for 50% indigenous content in procurement contracts. This policy includes a new Buy Global Manufacture in India category, encouraging international defence manufacturers to set up production and maintenance facilities within Bharat. Bharat has also established 2 major defence industrial corridors in Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh, attracting investments of 7,000 crore rupees so far to build an ecosystem that supports indigenous defence production. Now, Bharat's naval capabilities have also seen a remarkable advancement, with the INS Vikravandi aircraft carrier fully indigenously built, being the largest warship in Bharat's maritime history. The Make in India initiative, launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in September 2014, has significantly transformed Bharat's manufacturing landscape. Bharat has rapidly emerged as the second largest mobile exporter in the world. In the fiscal year FY24, Bharat's mobile phone exports soared by 40.5%, reaching approximately $15.6 billion. Apple's decision to assemble the entire iPhone 16 series in Bharat marks a significant milestone in the company's strategy to diversify its manufacturing operations. Samsung inaugurated the world's largest mobile phone manufacturing facility in Noida, which will double its capacity from 68 million to 120 million units per year. Bharat is on the brink of semiconductor revolution. Now, the semiconductor, Tata Group and Taiwan-based power chip semiconductor manufacturing corporation PSMC at Dholera, with an investment of approximately $11 billion. The US-based semiconductor giant Micron has begun construction on a $2.75 billion semiconductor plant in Sanand in Gujarat. This facility is expected to create around 5,000 direct and 15,000 indirect jobs. The Indian government envisions the semiconductor industry reaching a market size of approximately $63 billion by 2026 itself. Proud moment for all of us here in Bharat as the Make in India seems to be taking off. We've got to take a short break, and when we come back, it's Tamil Nadu. New entry in politics, from real to real. It is Vijay. Is this anti-Dravidian plank going to help the DMK further by splitting the anti-incumbent vote? We find out after the break. Stay with us.
Brought to you by
Over the years, several prominent actors have made the leap from the silver screen to the political arena, bringing their star power and influence to the world of governance. And the latest to join that bandwagon is Vijay, fondly called Ilaya Talapati by his fans at a grand ceremony in Tamil Nadu's Vikravandi. Actor Vijay officially entered the political landscape by unveiling his party's ideology. In a no-holds-barred attack, he took on the Dravidian parties, called the DMK his political enemy. He accused the party of looting the state under the garb of Dravidian ideology. Vijay also said Periyar inspired him, but he won't adopt his anti-God stand. For decades, Tamil Nadu has been dominated by Dravidian parties, and Vijay is set to fight the 2026 state elections. The question is, can Vijay stand out? Will Vijay disrupt bipolar politics of Tamil Nadu, or will Vijay's anti-Dravidian stand end up helping the DMK instead by diffusing the anti-incumbent votes? Vinoj P. Selvam, leader of the BJP with us, Tamil Nadu BJP, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author and political commentator with us, and Pulla Rao, political analyst with us. My namaste and Jai Hind, gentlemen. Thank you. Let me first quickly ask Dr. Ranganathan, what's your take on this entry?
I think it's good news, and Talapati has joined, so I welcome this move. A new entrant has to be welcomed in Tamil Nadu politics, no doubt about it. But can I say, very unlike the real life Vijay, where he knows who his adversary is and he goes after him, out here I dare say, at the risk of annoying him and his newly formed party and his workers, seems terribly confused. Because on the podium he says DMK is my political foe, while the BJP is my ideological foe. He doesn't explain what does he mean by ideological foe. What is he against? Which ideology is he against? Secondly, Vijay triumphs the fact that his heroes, and they were giant cutouts of all his heroes. One was Dr. Ambedkar, fair enough. The other one was K. Kamraj, absolutely fine. Third one was Periyar. Now, he says that, look, I'm not going to be like Periyar was an atheist. But does he agree with Periyar's ideology? If you see a snake and a Brahmin, kill the Brahmin first. Does he agree to Periyar's absolute going after Brahmins to such a degree that even Jawaharlal Nehru said this guy should be put in a lunatic asylum and the key thrown away to K. Kamraj himself? So what are the values that are imbibed by Vijay's new party as far as Periyar is concerned? And secondly, does he agree with Dr. Ambedkar when he says that Islam is a closed corporation and the enmity it shows for non-Muslims is very real and very discriminating, and no true Muslim can be a true brother of a Hindu? Does he agree with all those? So I am afraid he has to clarify a lot of things, but good luck to him.
He also says that MGR made the entry, and he refers to him very nicely with respect to the ADMK. Pulla Raoji, what's your take on Vijay's entry?
Well, I just heard Dr. Ranganathan speak. Some to agree, some to disagree. One thing is, you got to credit Vijay. He did take the leap, unlike Rajinikanth, who, for 10 years I'll go in, I won't go in. Last day, I would like to say he fled. This gentleman did take the leap. And for a star in the height of his glory or whatever, to do that is risking it. So he must have thought out everything. But coming back, it's like a nice Tamilian lunch. He has a little of everything. He has got about 10 dishes. He has put a little of everything, So, we don't know finally what he's going to ask for seconds. What he's going to ask for, He has put the whole plate. And one thing is, yes, he has got a lot of, I would say, his whole behavior, the way he set up his meeting, the way he organized it. And we have seen such meetings earlier, inaugural meetings went great, but will he be able to sustain it? You see, the only thing he will be up against, Tamil Nadu, I think, has got 15, 20 active parties, active. Some may have an MLA or no MLA, and DMK has most of them. Unless he joins the ADMK, unless he makes it a double race, two-party race, two-front race, he won't be able to take on the DMK, which has fought 35 national and state elections statewide. It's not there with an established election machinery, which I'm sure you would agree with. So we have to see how he comports himself for the next few days. Whether he's going to come out, as Mr. Ranganathan has said, with some clarity, or is he going on the personality? He has attacked the DMK and the BJP. He said, I'm not with him. So we have to see what his plans and who are the who are the people who are formulating things, who are the backroom boys, as they say.
Right.
We'll
Okay.
see all of that.
One very small correction. One very small correction to Mr. Rao. Rajnikant does not join politics. Politics joins Rajnikant.
Okay. But
Yeah,
he said no.
but I'll tell you
he
what.
said
I'll tell you
no.
what. Look at Kamal Hassan. Look at Kamal Hassan. Just about 5 or 6 years ago, he launched in a similar fashion. The likes of Arvind Kejriwal and all came there, and they thought it was the next big thing in Tamil Nadu. And now he fought Lok Sabha elections in a DMK ticket. Now Vinod P. Selvam, the DMK today has called Vijay the third team of the BJP in Tamil Nadu.
Firstly, the crowds which we saw throng the Vikravandi, the Manad, the event which happened yesterday, we'll have to first understand that it is the crowd which came to see an actor, not a politician. The success of the DMK has been that to an extent they have kept the people of Tamil Nadu so glued to cinema, and through cinema they have over the years influenced the people's mindset and the voting pattern. Now a cinema actor is again entered politics. So the crowd, the youngsters who came, almost 5-6 lives were lost yesterday because of these over-enthusiastic youngsters who did not take enough precaution while traveling. So people just thronged to come see an actor live in front of their eyes, and that's what they were there for. It was a perfect Sunday, it's the Diwali week, so people had a lot of time on their hands. And there was a lot of expectation from what Vijay was going to come and deliver. But what we ended up hearing was pretty much the DMK's manifesto, or a whole promise of DMK was what was being said out yesterday. Vijay in his first meeting has proved that he is a clear hypocrite. In the clear hypocrite in the sense that he first opposed and he said that the Vijay's political party will stick to a two-language formula. Now your son studied in the American International School. He has learned foreign languages, he has learned international languages. For all I know, he might even be knowing Hindi. How is it fair that you also come and toe the line of DMK and say we will stick to a two-language formula? I will oppose NEET. I will make sure that Tamil is the language of worship in all religious places. Now if you are saying that Tamil will be the language of in all the religious places, Tamil will be practiced, it's well and good, we really appreciate it, but you need to also make sure that this is being followed in mosques and churches. Mosque prayers happen only in Urdu. In churches, prayer happens only in English. If you are able to make sure that the prayers happen in Tamil in mosques and churches, then we agree with what you are saying. But yesterday you just came out, you had a rant, you had about 48 minutes to speak, and you are a decently good actor, so you were able to mug up your lines, see the paper once in a while and read out a script with a lot of antics on the stage. And I don't really know what actor Vijay is going to be able to bring to the people, because clearly his first debut speech has had no impact on people who are waiting to watch and hear and understand what his political party is all about.
Do you believe if he takes Vinod P. Selvam, and then I'll start with you and then I'll go to the others with this question. Do you believe this will actually, if he takes an adversarial position with the DMK, will it actually weaken or split the anti-incumbent votes between the ADMK, BJP and him, thereby helping the DMK further? What is his point of view? Where do you see? Who are the people? Because he says he's open to alliances. Who are the people he's going to ally with?
See, BJP is open to an alliance. BJP is very clear that in 2026, an alliance headed by the BJP, just like how it is in the 2024 parliament elections, will be taken forward. And the alliance, of course, in the national party is always decided by the national leadership. So there is a very long way to go. So right now, the BJP is much focused because Tamil Nadu is in dire needs of leadership. It's in dire needs of a double-engine sarkar, where, having Modi ji at the center, a BJP government in Tamil Nadu will help propel the state to the greatness which it originally had. In the last 20 years, we lost its sheen. We have lost a lot to neighboring states of Karnataka and Telangana. So it's time that a government with a vision comes to power in Tamil Nadu. Vijay, instead of talking about his vision or what he is going to do to the people, yesterday he makes a statement. He says that for people who don't know how to fish, I'm not going to teach them how to fish, but I'm going to give them a fish in their hand. That means he's going to give them freebies again. So we already have enough governments giving freebies and making the governments bankrupt. So again, Vijay is talking about giving freebies indirectly by saying we are not going to teach people to fish, we are going to just give them a fish in people's hands. So what are you trying to imply? Now he says, I follow the, I'm a great follower of Ambedkar and I take whatever he says into the principles and policies of my party. But then you come outside and you oppose the governor yesterday. So the governor has been clearly mentioned in the constitution drafted by Ambedkar. The rules and the powers of the governor have been mentioned there. So you're opposing what Dr. Ambedkar has said. So you're contradicting yourself. You're supporting Periyar. You're saying I take up Periyar's ideologies except for the one ideology of no God. Periyar also called Tamil as a barbaric language. Periyar said the best thing which could happen to India was to be under the British rule. So what are you supporting? What are you saying? You made this Manadu, you made this event happen by the money you earned from acting in movies of Red Giant, by the money you made from acting with Sun Pictures. So back then, 3 years, 4 years back, you did not realize that these were corrupt parties. You didn't realize these were nepotistic families. When you were taking 100 crore salary from Sun Pictures and Red Giant movies, when you were posting for photos of Udayanidhi Stalin, you did not realize that they were looting the country. They were looting the state. So it was okay for them to loot the state then, and it was okay for you to take money from them. And today, all of a sudden, one fine morning, you just woke up and you realized they are corrupt political parties and you're going to attack them. So, you know, the entire drama drafted around Vijay has been very hypocritic. So he has to come out and clear the air. BJP is very clear on its stand. We are going with like-minded parties for the development of the state. We want to ensure our political enemy, our political rival in Tamil Nadu is the DMK, and we have to make sure that we uphold Sanatan Dharma, and we will make sure that we send home DMK back in 2026.
Right, Pullarauji.
Well, we have to see. You know, it's too early days, as they say, whether he will, you know, they say he may attract DMK votes. I don't think so, because as I said, DMK gets 27-28% vote. Its allies get another 15-20% vote. Will he be able to go into the stratified political setup in Tamil Nadu? Cut it. It looks difficult. Can he unite the opposition? From what Mr. Selvam says, obviously he won't unite the opposition. So it's a game for the DMK. Just now we heard a senior leader of BJP says, you know, he was critical of this gentleman. So there won't be an alliance. So from that...
No, because there is ADMK at play. There is ADMK at play.
ADMK may join with this Vijay, but that doesn't mean BJP...
No, will the ADMK join with Vijay? Because the ADMK has said it's nothing but old wine in a new bottle. There is no big deal here.
But, 24 months to the election. They may join,
but he was quite a little softer with the ADMK, was he?
Absolutely, he was very soft. He was very soft with them.
So is he the star? Is he the star that, because if that's the case, he should have joined the ADMK, why launch his own party, why go through so much money, and there is a certain level of investment that's being made. Dr. Ranganathan, your call, your thoughts here. Whose votes is he going to eat into, or is he going to create his own space, or is he going to hurt all these parties a little bit, or do you believe that the way Makkal Nidhi Mayam went, Kamal Hassan went, if they couldn't survive, can he in that political landscape that is Tamil Nadu?
No, he seems at the outset itself so much more sensible than Kamal Hassan, but that's a separate issue. Look, in the time-tested tradition of 4 Tamilians having gone to enjoy a blockbuster, and here is my good friend Vinod, who's not even prepared to sit till the interval. There is nothing wrong in what Vinod has said. Yes, it is showering hypocrisy. But the fact is, tomorrow he might have to eat his words, because this guy might actually join an alliance with BJP. Then what will Vinodji say? That please, Anand, just delete whatever I said against this thing. No, the fact of the matter is, if we are discussing freebies, let it be known officially. He's smiling, thank you. That nobody has distributed more freebies across India than the BJP. I have the data to prove it. You have the upcoming Maharashtra election. It's freebies, raining freebies. So it's not a question of freebies. It's just a question, strictly as you said, Anand, vote splitting. And there I'd like to make one comment. There has been, ever since the passing away of late Jayalalitha ji, there has been a huge void that has not been filled. Everyone's tried to fill it. People even prompted Rajnikant to come and fill it. He hasn't managed. He didn't manage it, as Mr. Rao said. Who knows? Would it be possible for Vijay to fill it? Only time will tell.
Well, is that the vacuum, or has the political landscape and the whole dynamic of Tamil Nadu also shifted? Gentlemen, thank you very much. I've run out of time. Winding up this edition of The Right Stand on that note. Brass Tacks with Zaka Jacob right now. Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. Tamil actor Vijay has made an impressive debut at a political rally in Villupuram in central Tamil Nadu in what was billed as TVK, his party, the Manad or the national conference of his party. He hit out, interestingly, both at the ruling DMK, calling them a bunch of corrupt folks, and he hit out at the BJP. He said that the DMK was looting the state in the name of the Dravidian model. He called them a political enemy. Similarly, he took on the BJP by saying that he's against those who divide in the name of caste and religion, calling them ideological enemy. In fact, he struck all the right notes politically. It was a fiery debut speech, no doubt about it. But speaking at political rallies, whipping up sentiment of your faithful, that is one thing. Winning elections, and that too in a very, very contested field like the one in Tamil Nadu. There are many, many dozens of parties, small parties, caste-based parties who make a big difference, even though the politics of the state has swung between the two Dravidian poles, DMK and the AIADMK, for the better part of the last 50 years. Finally, Vijay is, at least from his speech, appearing to offer a